Find ourselves in an easy seated pose, maybe one leg or the other. Or any way that you can have the sit bones behind you, spine straight, shoulders stacked over hips, along the neck, alignment with the spine. Finding a moment of stillness. Begin to take inventory. Noticing muscles in the body, thoughts in the mind, emotions flowing between them. As we breathe, allow the breath to wash over every inch of your being. So you are breathing in and out through every pore of the skin, through every cell in the body, flowing in the new energy, releasing the tension from them. As we release our muscles with each exhalation, it's a moment to notice what it is we've been holding on to. What are these emotions that we often hold in our muscles? Think of our emotions as something happening in the brain, in the mind, or within our thoughts. So often it's expressed in our posture, our form. So as we become aware of each part of the body, you might notice some muscles have a little too much energy, a little too tense, and other things might be a little bit too loose, relaxed. We'll create our intention for this practice to bring all these things, all these energies, all these muscles into balance with our posture. I'm going to bring the hands to the heart. And seal this intention for balance, stability, for ease of being in balance. As we seal this intention with an Om together. You can listen along or sing along. Slowly open the eye. Release the hands to our side. Maybe pushing the palms into the mat as we lift up on the shoulder, down the side body, lengthen and weight off of the lower back. Exhaling to release. We'll start with a simple twist. The left hand outside of the right thigh, the right hand reaches towards the left hip. Exhale, open the heart to the wall behind us, releasing all the stale air out of the lungs to the very bottom of the diaphragm as the belly button pulls in and in. We'll inhale our ways back to our center. Breathing in all the way, filling up the lungs as we lengthen the spine, lifting the top of the head towards the ceiling. And then exhaling this right hand outside of the left thigh, reaching this left hand towards the right hip, and exhaling all the way, slowly and consistently. And we release the very bottom of the lung. The belly button pulls in and rises. Come back to our center. Finding ourselves again, pushing into the mat on each side of the hips as we lengthen through the very top of the head. It's time to exhale as we reach both hands overhead, lengthening through the side bodies, howling out to the armpit. Moving hands to the heart. Noticing the posture, the shoulders can roll to the back, keeping them just over the hips. Let's see if we can loosen some tension that might be in on the end. I'm going to do that with an isometric stretch. We take this right hand and place it just above the right ear, that elbow coming out, so the arm is parallel to the chest. We push the head towards the hand and push the hand towards the head, keeping the head, top of the head pointed straight up. You'll find a little bit of an isometric release in the back of the neck and the upper shoulder. Well, extend the release, drawing his right hand down to the thigh, reaching his left hand just over the left ear, keeping the spine straight and in one line while we push the left hand just over the ear, push the top of the head towards the palm. And a little bit of length and engagement between the neck and shoulder. Well, exhale and release. Let's bring our hands to the mat. Lengthen and lift. And see if we can walk or find our ways to position. Finding our weight, find the mat with all 10 fingers and behind the knuckles. Maybe lifting the backs of the wrists up and off the mat. Lifting through the tailbone as we bow the heart and look up. Finding length in the back body in our cow pose. And exhaling as a wave flows over the spine, find our hands. Finding each breath of motion as we awaken each part of the spine. Breathing fully, completely, moving with as much consistency and steady motion as we have the patience. It's okay to move slowly. Perhaps best to move as slowly as possible. Let's find our ways to our tabletop when we're ready to roll. And drop the hips between the heels as we lengthen through the side body. Bring our child's pose or balasana. We might be able to lengthen this right side body as we reach this right arm up and forward, stacking the shoulder. Open that heart a little bit, drawing the left shoulder blade onto the back. As we draw it forward. And exhaling to our center. And lifting this left hand up and forward, lengthening the side body, drawing space between the vertebrae on the left side of the spine. Exhaling back to our center. Allowing the tailbone to pull between the heels as the spine lengthens. We'll then tuck the toes behind us and push ourselves up into our first downward facing dog, our Ardha Mukha Shavasana. Coming on the feet, finding a little bit of motion as we find our length, find our stance. Releasing tension from the back of the neck, so you can have the head bob, yes, so no, right. Breathing all the way to the lower spine. We draw the weight from the fingertips towards the toes. Push the heels towards the mat, lifting the tailbone. Finding a little bit of steadiness. Appreciating the stillness that we have. Allowing each breath to lengthen the spine. With each exhalation, let's take just a baby step towards the hands, shortening our stance. Moving slowly, moving steadily. Find ourselves onto our upper hips. And our forward fold at the top of the mat. You can exhale, release the tension from the neck. Release the tension from the upper back. Grab the elbows and the opposing hand. Lift through the tailbone, and we'll push through all four corners of the feet and swing the forearms to the left, bending the right knee. And forearms to the right, bending the left knee. Deep breath each side body. It shows itself. Maybe 3 times on each side. Allow the tailbone to lift a little bit higher. Sides are even. Release, let go of the elbows. Release the tension from the jaw, from between the eyebrows. And hinge from the hips, keeping the lower back straight as we rise up. Bringing the hands overhead. Looking up at the palms as we squeeze those hands together, pulling the heart forwards. And drawing the hands into the heart. And for a moment, so engaging our mountain pose. We lift the toes, lift the backs of the calves, the fronts of the thighs. Pull in the glute, the pelvic floor, and the belly button comes in and up. Side bodies grow long, the rib cage pulls in. The back body engages towards the shoulder blades, and the shoulder blades pull down the sides. Chin tucks to lengthen to the very top of the head. So there is a thread pulling through the spine, through the very top of the head towards the ceiling, lifting you up even an inch taller. Allowing each breath to allow you to lengthen. And each exhalation allowing you to settle into your feet. Imagine your feet, if you lift those toes, spread the toes and set them down. Do that again. We'll lift the toes, spread them a little bit further, set them down. See if we can get them any further apart. We lift the toes one more time, all the way up, spread the toes as wide as they go. Set them down. Imagine yourself printing your personal insignia on the mat. We're going to keep that insignia on that right foot. As we bend the left knee, finding our standing balance, resting our weight in all four corners of that foot while we lift the knee, pushing through that left heel to lift those left toes. Resting our hands wherever it is. We can exhale like this. Inhale to our center. We're going to find our way to our low lunge. This left foot coming behind us, toes to the mat. Bring that left knee down to the mat. The left hip forward, let's rock it down. The shoulder blades down on the side bodies. Reaching palms out, thumbs to the mat behind us to open the shoulders for that external rotation. Tucking the chin to lift through the spine. Reach those hands overhead. As we lengthen, let's bow the hands to the inside of the foot. Left foot a little bit further back as we find a moment. A lizard. These little hip circles as we lift the left knee off of the mat. Might take some little hoop circles in one direction. Slowly and steadily, you draw the strength from the back foot, pulling it forward, pulling the fingers towards the back toes. Let's lift this front foot off of that mat, pushing through the heel, and slowly and steadily step back to our hip pose. Drawing the fingertips towards the toes, using all four limbs to lengthen the spine. Finding the muscles on the sides of the spine pulling towards the side body, pulling the heart towards the spine and the belly button in and out. We'll bring the knees to the mat, knees, chest, and chin, Ashtanga, lifting the tailbone behind us. And a little back bend in the lower spine. Wagging the tail to the left and to the right. So you can get a nice release as we lengthen to push through that tailbone, bringing it more towards the heels. We push our way into the fingers and pull the heart a little bit more forward so you can create space in the lower back. And then pull the heart forwards to any variation of your cobra over your back bend before we find our downward facing dog. Taking a deep exhalation as we fold. Drawing the shoulder blades towards the heart, drawing the heart towards the heels. Lift the left foot behind us. Slowly and steadily opening the hip as we draw it forwards to the outside of this mat. Moving as slowly and steadily as possible. Not gonna wait too early. Taking our little hip circles in each direction. We open on this left side of the leg. We'll bring the back knee down the mat. Back toenails come down the mat. The hands frame the foot. And then we open out. Thumbs reaching to the wall behind us. The external rotation of the shoulders. Engaging them into the spine as we open the heart. Lifting up through the top of the head. And the palms out. And when the shoulders are protecting the mid and upper spine, we reach these arms forwards and up. Lengthen. Adding length as we hollow out the armpits. Drawing the right hip forwards, the left hip down. And the hands can come down in front of the left toes. We lift that back knee off of the mat. And that back foot lifts up. Finding our way to our standing balance, however we get there. It's okay to tap the mat. We need to. If we can keep the hips perfectly square, it's always a goal. When we get there, how do we get there? We straighten through the left leg, push through the right heel, reach that right foot forwards. And exhale as we set the feet up. Take a minute, maybe a windmill. Maybe putting a micro bend on the opposing knee on each side that you're patting yourself on the back. And the 3 minutes. Channel your inner child. Let the arms dangle at their own pace. They will come to a pause. You'll find yourself effortlessly standing. You will lift the toes and spread the toes and set them down. Lift the toes and spread the toes and set them down. One more time, lift the toes and spread the toes. Set down. And we're going to find our weight onto this left foot first. We'll bring the right knee to our standing balance. You have the hands at the balance. Stay your balance. I'm going to add a tree pose this time, so maybe you can grab the front of the leg. Yeah. Grabbing, putting the right heel on the inside of the left thigh as you draw this right thigh further out to the right, further until it's parallel to the shoulders. You can always use the big toe as a kickstand. Have that down, that's okay too. Try to open this hip further out behind you. Gain your balance as you open your heart. Lifting through the top of the head. You can grow your branches. Sometimes that helps you to balance. If you like a challenge, you can bring the hands together overhead and look up at the thumbs. Okay. Nice. We'll bring this right leg out to the right. Opening this hip all the way out. And stepping it back into a warrior two. And into the left knee. Bend the left knee so you can just see the big toe, but not the other toes. Keeping your weight on the outside of the back foot as you pull it in and towards the front heel. Shoulders over hips. Arms reach out. Notice how long your stance is. If your wrists are over your heels, then that's about the right length. If there's too long, that looks pretty good. A little too short there. Looks, maybe you can lengthen just a little bit. Let's open our heart. Gaze with our front fingers. Drawing your weight to the outside of the back foot while you flip the front palm, reverse the warrior. And do an optional half bind if you put this right thumb around the outside of the left hip. Opening the heart to the ceiling. Don't let the right side body collapse, but open the heart. Exhale to our center. At our side angle, bending this left arm over the left thigh. Reaching this right arm up and then forward to lengthen all the way, everything between that right heel and that right little finger. Finding a little bit of twist. You look towards the ceiling. You can bring the left hand to the inside of the left foot, if you'd like. Breathing into the spine to lengthen. We'll exhale as we bring the back heel off of the mat, both hands come to the inside of the foot. And we'll see if we can find this left foot coming out to the right, the falling triangle. Reaching this right hand way up. Opening the left foot, the outside of the left foot. Stack the arms like a side plank, or you can bring the heart down parallel to the mat and really work on it. Let's lift that left foot off of them, and both hands down the mat and step the feet back, lengthening the spine with all four limbs. Feeling out the muscle on the back. So if you are here, see if we can feel the muscle over, squeezing the outside of the hands together, getting extra rotation as you're trying to move the hands so that the fingers are trying to point further out, but they're not. Notice how that wraps the muscles around the arms and around the shoulders and into the back. We'll bring the knees to the mat. Keeping this external spiral on both of our hands. We'll bring the chest and chin to the mat, keeping the tailbone lifted. Elbows at our sides. Wagging the tail, reaching to the tailbone. Weight on the toes, pull the toes towards the fingers. Pull the fingers towards the toes, you lift the heart, bring a little gentle back bend. Bring yourself up into your facing the body. A little back. Bring this right foot pushing to the heel, and up. High it goes. Make it square. And then stacking. We can lengthen to the right side body. Bending the knee underneath the front hip for the right toes. And then stepping that right foot forward between the thumbs. That left foot comes down perpendicular to the right. Bring your arms up to a warrior. Prepare ourselves for our dancing warrior. Maybe lengthen your stance if we need to get our heel just underneath the wrists. Fine. Bending into the knee, goes just over the heel. Moving the shoulders. Raising the left arm. Letting steadiness as we pull the feet together. Strengthen our foundation. And maintaining that voice with the front palm. Reach it up and the wall behind. And lift it forward. Let's lift forwards and this back. Exhale. Door warrior. Opening both hips. We put this front palm cross over the right leg. Reach this left arm forwards. Reach forwards and open up a little more. If you're like here, you can stack the shoulders and straighten. Straighten up. Yeah. Let's go. Stay here, warming this right hand to the inside of the foot. Again, reach this left arm forward as we pull up the armpit. A straight line here. Left shoulder on top of the right, a little more towards the ceiling. Then we're going to bring this right foot out to the left for on triangle. However we get there, we can have the hands come down the mat and then step this right foot to the left. And leave your arms strong to lengthen that right side body. Drawing that right foot further behind you. You bring the hands to open the heart towards the front short edge of the mat. Really work to the outside of that right hip. And we'll step this right foot forward between the thumbs. Lifting up the left foot. Push through the left knee. Bringing that left foot further out to the left. And we're going to see if we can get into a standing balance. That's no doubt what Kurt is. Finding a tree. Allowing that tree to open that left hip a little bit more. Find a dristy that's a solid focal point to look at, that does not waver. It allows you to notice when you are wavering. Also helps to focus your energy on the foot that's closest to the mat. That's what is most stable. And when we're ready, we'll exhale to the mat whenever it feels. Wind in the room over there. We will step on the toenails. Release the tension from the toe. They've been doing a lot of work trying to keep you up pants. Ourselves, our center. Not the arms. The water. See if when you do, see if you can get the top hand go over the shoulder. The other hand, the back of the hand. Yeah. Allow your own momentum to go, not like, yeah. Fun is that. My favorite part is as well, the arms dangle. Move, come to a pause. Stillness. Really appreciate stillness more, their motion. Appreciate motion more, their stillness. Let's reach our hands around. Lengthening to our side body. We're going to find ourselves in a chair pose. We bend the knees, letting the hips sink low behind us. Reaching through the arms and fingers to hollow out the outsides of the armpits. Lengthen. Holding the belly button in and down. Allowing those hips to sink low, spring the sit bones. And get external or internal rotation of the hips. So pulling the insides of the feet together. Exhaling those hands down into the mat. And the knees a little bit bent. Shift our weight from the right hand to the left hand, to the right. Finding a little bit of curve in the back, so we're kind of lengthening the outside of the shoulder muscles into the upper back muscles. Breathing into the shoulders as we pull the outsides of the little fingers and the outsides of the hands, pull them in and together. Pointing the pointer fingers, trying to pull them further out, spinning them out for external rotations on both hands. Straightening the arms, letting those bones pull out and spreading them apart. And we can step outward. Right. There's those in plank. I haven't done a good chaturanga for a while in this class. So you can always do it from your knees. Very well. What's most important is that we're able to take this muscle that's here from the lower back, engage it. We're drawing the weight outsides of hands to shoulders. It's good to practice chaturanga and arm bends. We're trying to put most of our weight into the fingertips. And then we'll find our up dog. And the heart forwards towards the fingertips. And tuck the chin up to the top of the head. And then push back to the tailbone as we bow. Breathing heart towards the heels, roll the shoulders towards the sides. We're going to lift this left foot behind us, bending the knees, stacking the hip, looking underneath that right armpit to see if you can see this left toes, opening the heart, Underneath the left arm, look to the right. Breathing into this left side body and let it go as long as it is. Maybe even moving these left fingers a little more forwards. We're going to exhale this left foot into a pigeon. And then that right wrist in front of the left ankle. Using the fingers to draw a little bit of length in the spine. On the heart, a little bit more forwards. On the right hip, a little bit more forwards. We would come onto our forearms. Sleeping pigeon. And we keep this right forearm parallel to the edge of the mat. We stack this left shoulder on top. Lifting back. Reach this left hand towards the right knee. Bending that right knee. There, or maybe outside of this. Then breathing into this left side body, let the body open some space in the left psoas muscle. Push yourself here. Let's see if we can loosen anything else up that might be tensions you may have been holding. Looking towards the ceiling, you roll right shoulder blade onto the back. Exhale, release. Down to the forearms. We're going to bend that right knee 90 degrees. Feel those sitting up as you draw this right hip further up to the right. That's the left hip further behind you. Sit straight up with our hands each sides of the hips. Lengthen through the spine, lifting up through the top of the head. Exhale, we set that back down. Work towards our reclined deer. So blast. So she's doing right the lower back. You got them? You got them. And this posture always shows me some muscle on the outside of the right leg that I'm holding on to to let go. Once we let go of all those tensions on the outside of that right leg, you can pivot that right shoulder over the left. The heart is parallel to the ground. And we walk those hands to the left and a little bit. Walk the hands to the right. Find a counter stretch. Maybe crossing the left elbow over the thigh. For a twist, maybe crossing the left elbow over the arch of the left foot. For a twist. Maybe crossing it over the right thigh. Level, same. And then allow yourself to release. Allowing the hips to come forward, lengthen through the right leg. And step our left foot back. Anywhere to your dog. Just right foot behind us. Pushing through the heel. Squaring the hips. We step the left ankle behind, right ankle behind the left wrist. It's right foot sink towards the mat. We come out for forearm. The left foot forward, the right foot sinks, releases. Move everything to the root of the thigh. We'll draw this left forearm parallel to the short edge of the mat. As we stack the right shoulder on top of the left. So we can lengthen the outside of this right. Reach that right arm overhead. Reach that right hand for the right, where the left heel is. Maybe just stay reaching if the left thumbnails onto the mat. Or if you like the challenge, if your hip is open to do so, you can draw bending the left knee, bending the right knee, going outside of the. Oh, that is the left knee. Yeah, from the outside of the left foot, the right hand. And yourself in this twist. All this twist that you push that right hip a little bit further back and a little further down. While you breathe into the lower back as we lengthen. And relax the air to release. On the heart parallel to the mat. You sit on the right, draw the left knee. 90 degrees. Which side of our hips. Finding our finger as we stack the shoulders over hips. Pushing into fingertips, when the pulls. Lengthen the spine, setting our foundation. Preparing to lie back for our reclined ear pose. If this side is different from the other, it's okay. Up the neck into the left side body. You open the heart a little bit. Outside of that leg, release the tension. We'll stack this left shoulder over the right. Pull the heart parallel to the mat. And onto the hand. We find a little twist. The right side of the lower back as we look towards the left toes on the right. And we'll walk these hands to the left. Find whichever level of a twist most comfortable. And maybe that's crossing this right elbow over the right thigh. Maybe that's crossing the right elbow, the arch of the foot. Maybe that's crossing that right elbow over the outside of the left thigh. Now as you open and lengthen that left side body onto the back. Space the left side of the vertebrae into the spine. Breathe into it. Exhale, release or exhale air to the lungs. Back to our center. Find yourselves sitting on this right hip. We're going to stick this left heel to the outside of the right hip. Find yourselves in a tight space. Hugging this left leg in. And your foundation steady. And the shoulders over hips. Arms reach out as we move. And this right hand reaches out. This left hand reaches behind the back. So the fingertips maybe touch, and then you just grab the shirt. Wherever we are, your elbow is out to the side. See if you can pull it in so that that outside of that right armpit lengthens through the tricep, and the elbow should be reaching straight up to the ceiling on that right hand, the right arm. You get the forearm just behind the neck. You might be able to push the back of the head into the forearm to lengthen. So if your arm is like here, see if you can lift it up. You can bow if you like. It's always an option. Exhale, release. Bending the arms. Unwinding the legs. Drawing this left heel to the outside of the right hip. Right heel outside of the left. Find our foundation. Sitting up tall. We find shoulders over hips. The arms reach out. We'll find the left hand and the back, and the left hand behind the head, the right hand behind the neck. Or your shirt, or whatever we have available to us. We'll try to keep this left elbow reaching towards the ceiling straight up. Maybe you can even get forearm behind the head, and if you push the back of the neck into the forearm, you push the forearm into the back of the neck, that's lengthen the neck, not take some tension off of the neck. Breathing into the shoulders, wherever they are. And exhale and bow, bowing over the right hip. Inhale back to our center. We unwind the arms on our roots. Microphone for us. As we push hands to the back, lifting weight off of the lower back, maybe like the tailbone swing. On the shoulder blades down the side body, pushing to the hands. And then trying to push the tailbone towards the mat. Letting the arms be longer. Allowing us to create length and space. Exhaling. Inhale those arms all the way up. Shoulder blades coming behind the ears. The neck in alignment with the spine. So you can hinge from the hips. Okay, have a little bend in the knees. And grab the outside of the feet. And this forward fold. Reaching the head towards the toes. Flex, pushing through the heels. pushing towards the top of the head. Now each breath, I like to sit down a little further. Walk the hands back to our center. Keeping this left leg long. I cradle the right leg into our crown. Into this hip, which direction to the left. The left. And we can get that leg parallel to the one leg on the right side. And maybe 45 degrees on the left side. Pushing through the right heel. So you can hit the left hand, grab the outside of that right foot. Set that right foot down just on the crease of the left hip. You can also, though this is difficult for you, you can set it underneath, just between the glutes and the thigh. Like if you're working on it. Maybe set this down just here, pushing through that heel. Try to have this spiral on the hip. That's this internal spiral, so you can take the thigh, roll it in with the calf, roll it out. Allow that to keep the knee in alignment. You're twisting from the hip, from the knee. When you do, maybe you can grab the hands, bring the left foot and the thigh. To our center, push into the hands, lifting those hips on those sit bones, you'll put it behind them. You can always do this and figure forward. Maybe if the bind is successful for you, and it's been a while, but maybe we can find a twist. See if you can draw that right hand. Like we did in our warrior, we're going to find the thumb around here. Maybe we can even take that thumb of the left hand and pull it towards the right foot so we can get reach up the toe.
Not close, but
No?
it's an interesting thought.
Yes, it is a thought, and that's all it needs to be. But if we find a little bit of a twist that opens this right shoulder, that might allow you to, one more time to lengthen side of that hip. Say already bring both legs, keep the knees, and out. Pull. Coming up to our center, we'll cradle this left foot into our arm, left hip. Side to side, maybe with arrow the left side of the mat, maybe 45 degrees to the right side of the mat. Side to side a few times. Listen to your deepness on the right hip, the left hip lifts up and pivots. And we'll push through the left heel, grabbing the outside of the left foot with the left hand, setting that left heel into the crease of the hip. Or again, if that's not accessible, you can always set it underneath.
That's close enough.
That, yeah.
Okay.
That
I thought if it doesn't go
the
into
further
the
to
crease.
the out, the easier it is to get to the spine to an extent, but that's more on the hip.
Gotcha.
So we
This
ask
side
for
should be
hips.
better. I know that last time was on my sciatica, so my range is so bad. It was so good to do that. I
Yes.
needed to.
We should do this one more with you.
I agree.
I really like this adjustment where you can take the hands to the left side. Twist it open. Twist the cam forwards.
Yeah.
Just allows you to kind of tap that hip a little bit more open. Maybe to bow towards the forward fold. Over these. Come to our center. Reach the left thumb down, reach the hand around the lower back, and the left thumb holds. Maybe you can just get the thumb to hold. Maybe you can grab the right thumb with the left fingers and use that as a little bind. Hide those fingers towards the toes. Are you able to do that?
I'm able to wave at my foot.
That's good too. You might be able to like use that to just open in that direction.
I can,
The idea that someday
yes,
you'll be able to kind of like wiggle these fingers until they kind of like.
they reach
Just-
my foot.
Yes. That's okay. You don't have to find the full line. But maybe you can just hook this left thumb around the right side body to keep it open and grab the outside of the foot. And you pop it. It's not back to our center. End up with a butterfly. From the outside of the feet. Like allowing the legs to be in a straight line. So you lift up. Bow, kind of bow the back on the sit bones with it behind us. Spreading the toes. I love this transition with use the big toe, holding the elbows towards the hips and bow. And keep the hands on the feet. And we roll onto our mat. Lifting those legs up. And overhead. And our legs forward fold. Drawing ourselves into maybe a happy baby. We want one last hip opener. Or maybe final pose or hide the ears both for one last forward fold. As the knees come behind the elbows, reaching the toes overhead. Noticing the spine as we release each hip. Vertebrae by vertebrae down to the mat. The spine is straight, hips are open. Roll the shoulders behind.
I'm going to Shavasana.
Every breath of air. Awareness of the coolness the inhalation, freshness, the energy, steadiness, the beating of the heart. The balance, composure that it brings. Imagine ease flowing from the heart, each muscle. Lightness, freedom. Peace that we may find in our awareness. Every part of the body that has let go of those tensions that no longer serve us. There's ease. Peace, peace, peace. Allow it to fill every corner of the body, every part of the mind. As we return to which emotions we may be feeling in the body, learn to accept them as they are. As we are. As we transform our posture, transform all of these energies, all of these muscles. We will transform one more time to begin to wiggle so subtly fingers, toes. As we begin so slowly, bend the knees to the chest. Find ourselves in fetal position on the right side body, the arms of the pillow, laying like a child. Giving yourself one more rewarding breath of air and basking in. Appreciating just how good it feels to breathe. We will push ourselves up to a seated posture. Ourselves comfortably at the top of the mat. Eyes closed, gentle smile on the face, hands at the heart. I'm so grateful for you joining us our practice this evening. The love and light in me honors the love and light in you. Namaste.
So much weight. This leg is down, it started out like up here. Now it's so helpful.
Transformation.
Yes,
It's real.
yes. I feel like it to stay. But it just means I have to remember.
Don't be attached to it being a certain way. Just appreciate the way that it is along the journey.
That is a wonderful thought. I am so attached to the way when it feels better and I can walk without pain. And I feel like I'm walking on pillows or something when it's more open. It's such a contrast.
It's easier to appreciate when things are more quote, quote, normal. There's something powerful in appreciating the way that it might be, even if it's not the way that you would have wanted it to be.
Yes.
It's what it is.
Yes. That's it.
That's the only way to bring it more open, to get it more in the right direction. It's not to always be sort of craving it to be something else, but rather looking at it for how it is the only way to deal with it.
Yes, I agree. And when I like go into a warrior one, which I've discovered for some reason, I think God wants me in that position. It just gives me such a feeling of releasing that right. So as area, oh, this is my pose purpose or something. It draws me so much. But I try to remember how wonderful that feels. And if I didn't really have the issue, I wouldn't have that feeling of open. It's interesting to me. So I don't have the same experience on the other side. It doesn't mean it's good, but it's very, very different.
Makes you appreciate the other side a lot more.
And it makes me appreciate the release that comes from working the side that's struggling. So it's very, I just love yoga. There's so much to learn.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh,
Thank you. Bless you for being a teacher.
that's the first practice.
All right, guys, thank you. Thanks, Wade, very nice.
I forget